Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 116 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC podcast. Hello one and all.
Hello. Bit of an up and down week, I think we'd probably say. We're gonna
Start of the week, yes.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the Birmingham game. Obviously, I've had to talk about the Crawley game, so the Birmingham game obviously didn't go quite our way. And then obviously the Crawley game, we won, but we maybe didn't play very well. And then we got absolutely drenched in a storm for leaving it. But yeah, all that. So we're going to have a chat about all of that.
We're going to call it Storm Crawley.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Storm Crawley.
Storm Crawley.
And then obviously we're going to look ahead to the Leyton Orient game as well. And we're going to talk about all the little bits of news that have come out of the club.
Little bits and bobs in between.
Little bits and bobs, yes. So before we get going, if you would like to support the show, you can do by buying us a coffee. Our Buy Me a Coffee page is buymeacoffee.com/me the wife.
It should be buy me a coffee/tea because I don't drink coffee, so.
Okay.
So we're going to dub it as buy me a coffee.
No, let's not confuse people with where they need to go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so shout out this week to Anthony or Anthony.
Not sure. The H confuses us.
Yes, is it Anthony or Anthony? But there we go. Yeah, thank you very much for supporting the show.
We have sent you a video. Hope you've got it.
Yes. News. Start with news before we get into the games. So Jack Marriott won goal of the month.
Yes, for
You
August.
keep dubbing it as goal of the season.
Yeah,
which strangely,
well, it's goal of the season, isn't it?
So far. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
But the EFL, Sky Bet EFL goal of the month for August goes to Jack Marriott. Also, when did Parky get awarded Manager of the Month? Was that last week?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that, did we?
So we'll talk about both of those, I think, quickly.
Yeah.
So, so Jack Marriott got his goal. It was the start of the season, first game of the season.
Yeah.
It was against Wycombe Wanderers, and he scored that sublime goal that he scored. I voted for him. Did you vote for him?
I think so.
I voted for him.
I don't know. We always have a lot going on, don't we? And I never remember if I've done something or not. But I'm pretty sure I did vote for it. I think it would have been a bit of a travesty if it would have been any other goal. Because I watched all of the goals. For me, it was the best one. I know I am biased.
I was going to say, yeah, you're very biased.
Yeah, but for me, trying to take yourself away and just looking at the goals, I think it was the best for me.
I think he deserved it as well because he's been sublime. Sublime.
Yeah.
Sublime.
You said
sublime.
Yeah, you said sublime.
I was going to say super.
Yeah.
Superb, but then I went sublime.
Sublime.
Yeah, so far.
She sounds like someone who works in the library.
Sublime.
Sublime. Oh, what book do you need? Go and see Sue Blime. She's got she's got all of them.
So yeah, he was moving on. He was that goal was amazing. Loved it. We saw it live.
Sublime.
It was sublime. So I'm glad he won it. Well deserved.
Yeah, definitely. I think as a standalone goal, I think it was the one that stood out for me as that should have won that. But I think for all of his efforts at the start of the season, like you rightly say, it was nice for him to get something.
We've always said that Jack Marriott is a confidence player.
Yes.
And I think that would have given him a massive boost. Although we are going to talk about the Crawley game.
Yeah.
But he obviously didn't start on the Crawley game, so has that kind of knocked his confidence. But we'll talk about that in a bit. And also Parky got nominated as Manager of the Month, and he went on to win it. And I'm so glad, because Parky has just been, again, sublime.
Let's go. So let's talk about him as a manager. I suppose this is an unfair question. It's quite hard for you to answer because Parky's the only manager that you've ever known. I was going to ask you where does he fall into Wrexham's all-time manager sort of, question, because I grew up with Flinney, obviously. So that for me, he was always for longevity, for, the things he did for the club, the way that he managed and brought through the players that he did. And, just his dedication to Wrexham, really. He was always the manager. But I think now, Phil's got to be in that conversation. I know I'm not getting ahead of myself, just because he's won manager of the month, but I think he's got to be up there as best ever.
Did Flinney?
Yeah.
Flinney? Like me old mucker? Did he get us promoted at any point?
He would have, yeah.
So I can't obviously answer that question, but I think he's amazing. But I have read on social media, somebody actually put, and I can't remember who it was because it was a while ago now, but somebody actually put that Parky is now their favourite manager of the year, and they actually put in brackets, sorry, Flinney.
Of all time, you mean?
Did I say year?
Of the year, yeah. Definitely the best Wrexham manager of the year.
Of this year.
I think it's only recently I've really been thinking about it, since the end of last season. And I think it's quite hard to sort of look anywhere else but him, although, Brian Flynn put in so much of his time into this club and did so well with us. There were periods when we didn't do very well, but,
We've had that with Parky, though, as well, haven't we?
No, not... I mean, whole seasons, I'm talking now.
Oh, okay.
So, maybe...
Yeah,
maybe
that's why Parky is the best.
Yeah, maybe there is a sort of a longevity element to your best ever manager, perhaps. That I...
How long was he manager for?
He was one of the longest serving managers in all leagues. I don't know the actual length of time.
Well, for me, I can't see them getting rid of Parky anytime soon.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? I think that there has to be, when you're talking about best ever manager, I think maybe he's done amazing things in such a short space of time. Maybe a bit of longevity as well. That's when you start talking about best ever. But he might be the best ever already. I don't know.
Well, he's pretty much up there.
Yeah, for anyone who is sort of like a long-term fan, not that we don't want the new fans' opinions, but somebody who's been around for years and years and was sort of with the club when sort of Brian Flynn was manager, or even further back. Just let us know what you think. But yeah, I think we're getting to the point when, maybe we have to change opinions, maybe, and I think he is right up there.
Well, my opinion's not changing because I've only ever known Parky, so yeah, I'm happy.
That is true. Should we talk about the persistent standing?
Standgate. Yeah.
I thought you were going to go on.
Yeah. So late last week actually, the club issued a statement about persistent standing. I'll read out what they actually put quickly. As a football club, Wrexham AFC is granted a safety certificate by Wrexham County Borough Council and is monitored by the Sports Ground Safety Authority, SGSA. This certificate is essential to being able to open the Stoke Kairos at full capacity for matches. The football club has, however, been contacted on the matter of persistent standing during matches. If persistent standing is not stopped, we could face further action, including reduced capacity. So, at the game on Saturday, there were a few songs being played before. Nobody was singing these songs. There was "I'm Still Standing."
Yeah.
"Sit Down" by James.
Yeah.
James, is it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
There was a few others, but I can't remember what they were. So, I mean, the club's obviously issued this statement. Who's the one that's in charge of the music?
I know.
So it's like, who's made that decision to sing those songs?
The statement by the club. Sorry, just to make everyone aware. So basically, to break it down, they're talking about we don't have safe standing. It's an all-seater stadium. So when the game starts, what they're saying is everyone should be seated. They're not saying you can't jump up and celebrate a goal and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But it's about persistent standing. So the people who have a seat they will go and they will just stand for the whole game instead of sitting down. So that is apparently a safety issue. But there are sections of the ground that will just stand for the full 90 minutes. And I think that's more directed towards them than it is to the people who stand up on the odd occasion now and again. But yeah, it's an interesting one because I heard Sit Down by James. I heard I'm Still Standing. I'm not sure I heard any of the others, but obviously you've heard a few others as well. So it's strange because when I read the statement, it sort of felt like the club were going, oh, we're going to have to...
It was like they had their arm behind their back.
Yeah, we're going to have to put this out, and ask people to not stand. Look, it hasn't worked because we were at the game on Saturday and the people who normally stand throughout the whole game stood throughout the whole game.
They were singing a song as well, We're Wrexham FC and we'll stand where we want or something like that.
If we want, I think.
Yeah. So... I think it's gonna be quite a hard thing to police. It might not be, but I mean, it's just. I knew that Wrexham Council would be involved somewhere along the line because they're always trying to geg in on things that don't involve them. Really.
Look,
I get it's a safety issue.
Yeah, I know it's an awkward one, isn't it? You're sort of sitting there going, just leave us alone. Just let us do what we want to do. But at the same time, people do have. There are people with their clipboards and sharpened pencils and their glasses who have to enforce rules.
Don't like football and they think...
It doesn't matter whether they do or not. It's their job to enforce it. Look, and there is two sides to this. You just want to be left alone to do what you want. It brings us quite nicely onto Birmingham, I think, because where we were in Birmingham, we had safe standing. So anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically you've got a seat and you can sit down. But if you were to stand up, there's a barrier in front of you. At away games, everyone just stands for the whole game. But there's a barrier in front of you that you can lean on and sort of like hold on to, or whatever. It just stops
Jump up and down.
Yeah, it looks like you're riding a horse then when you do that. But yeah, it just stops you falling forward. And onto people in front of you, and then potentially them falling forward. And I quite like the safe standing.
To be fair, the guy who's standing in front of you at the Birmingham game, when we scored in the first 3 minutes, he pretty much dragged you over the bar anyway. So they weren't really safe then, were they? But yeah, they are safe standing, and I think they're planning on implementing safe standing into the new COP.
The
new COP that they're building.
100% they are, yeah.
So, that's good. It's one of them, and it's just like it's a bit of a grey area.
I don't know.
Birmingham. So we were there. We travelled down, across, up, down.
Your first time at Birmingham? Nice, wasn't it?
The ground?
Yes.
It was. Although we walked. We didn't know where we were going, basically.
Yeah.
So we walked all the way around. We literally walked past where we were supposed to go, but we walked all the way around the ground and then and then we decided to ask somebody and basically we had to walk all the way back to the start where we were.
Yeah.
We went in there and it was just, the fan zone there is pretty impressive, to be fair.
Oh, it's stunning.
It is massive.
Right at the front of the ground.
Yeah.
So you might have seen a few clips if you were watching from wherever it was that you were watching of Rob turning up, Tom Brady turning up, and that sort of front, they've got a front entrance where they were all going in. Just to the side of that is a fan zone, and it looked like there was thousands of people there. It was very impressive, I thought. I liked.
I think that's the sort of kind of thing that the Wrexham are trying to kind of get, but obviously with the limited space that they've got at the back of the temporary stand, it's going to be a bit difficult. But they had burger vans, they had music playing. It was a really good, and it was really warm as well that night on Monday night, wasn't it? So so it was. I was impressed with that. But we went into the stand and Ryan obviously got himself a beer, which he was happy about. There wasn't massive queues in there, which was nice.
No, there wasn't.
There was no Coca-Cola. I had to get a Fanta Orange. match. You know, disappointed me a little bit.
Yeah, sort that out, Tom. But yeah, no, it was a nice ground.
It was.
You know, there was a bit of a nervous energy. It felt like a really big game. We saw, strangely, we don't normally do this. So when we go to an away game, we like sitting at the front, right behind the goal. So we've done that. So we did that at Coventry, at Sheffield United. No, we didn't do it at Bolton. We were right at the top at Bolton, but
I can't even remember Bolton now. It's really bad. I can't remember.
But it tends to be where we go. Doncaster, we were right behind the goal, so right at the front. So that's where we like going. But when we went in, it was pretty packed when we were going to our seats. So we're like, right, let's just have a look where our seats are, which we always like to do. And at Bolton, we actually sat in our seats for the first time. Birmingham, same thing. We sort of went there and we went, should we just stay here because that's really busy there, that's really busy there, so where are we going to go? Where we were sitting was right by the Birmingham fans, which, that's fun, I've got to tell you.
Not sure about that.
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was great. But we saw, so Nick, who was on the show last week, a Birmingham fan, we saw him because he was like, 100 metres or so away, 50 metres close, quite close to us. So we spotted him, took a photo of him, zoomed in. Looked a bit weird, maybe, but unchanged lineup from Shrewsbury. So Jack kept his place, everyone kept their place. Looked like a good, strong lineup. I was happy with the way that we set up. Nervous, felt big. They had the fireworks and the flashing lights.
Apparently they do that at every home game.
Okay,
apparently
that's fine, but
it was just a bit much.
It is a bit much,
a bit American, but obviously you've got American.
Yeah, I mean we had quite a few people. I think Christian McHale was one of them who actually said, please never do this at Wrexham. Our floodlights have the capability to do that though, because we've seen them do it.
I wonder if they will do it when Birmingham comes to
I don't know, but
Racecourse.
We went to the Kings Leon gig at the Racecourse and they had that flashing.
I do remember, yeah.
So we have the ability to do that. Whether we ever will,
I don't know.
I just don't know. I'm with you. Seemed a bit big.
It seemed a bit much. They were basically...
Seemed a bit big, did I say then?
Yeah.
Seemed a bit much.
Yeah, so they basically... I was confused because when they came out for training, to warm up, they came out from where we were sitting, but then when they came out to play the game, they were on the other side.
I know.
Because I was like watching, waiting for them to come out, and then they didn't. And I wondered what these stands were on the far side of the pitch, and then all of a sudden, the players came out. There was these fireworks at the side, pyrotechnics, and then it was just, I mean, it looked pretty. Don't get me wrong. It did look good, but it was very American, and obviously, I've got nothing against that, obviously. We love Americans.
But a very, very sort of like an American
NFL
sport sort of feel to it. Yeah. I think the one thing, it sort of blew us away a little bit because... this no offence is meant to the team I'm about to mention, but 22 months ago, we played a game away at Wealdstone and we drew 0-0 22 months ago, and they've got a very small ground. They've, it's not completely covered, it's, very small ground. And to see where we were on Monday was just in that 22 months where we've been and where we've got to was just, it makes you feel proud of how far that we've come. I was just trying to grab at things on Monday, really.
The guy in front of us, we didn't get his name, and I don't even know if he ever watches this, but he was chatting away to Ryan like they'd known each other for 30 odd years. And he was basically saying the same thing. He was like, look at where we were playing at small, National League grounds, and look at where we are today. We're at Birmingham City Stadium. 29,000 fans. There was actually 27 there.
I know what you mean.
So it's like, it's a massive achievement. And I think even though we didn't get the result that we wanted from that game, I think people were like, do you know what?
Yeah.
We're all right. We're still top of the league.
Look, we saw Tom Brady walk past as well. Quite close, and that was a bit of a thrill for me.
Were you? Yeah, it wasn't for me.
No.
Everyone was singing, you're just what were they singing? You're just a cheap Ryan Reynolds or a fake Ryan Reynolds or a wannabe Ryan Reynolds or something like that.
Yeah, I know what it was and we can't say it, so...
Oh, you'll have to tell me afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was swearing in it, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, he walked past. I think he thought it was quite funny when people were singing that at him. He took it in jest. He didn't take offence to it or anything. So yeah, so obviously the Birmingham fans were cheering him. You know, kudos to them. You know, they've got an American owner like we have. We've got a Canadian and American owner, should I say? So it's, you know, we kind of know how they feel in regards to having pooey owners, and now we've got our
definitely.
We've got our dream owners, and we're all very happy.
Yes.
I don't know why I did that, boy.
No, me. Look, we'll move on. So 2 minutes, 37 seconds in. Corner comes in. Keeper flaps at it. Falls to Jack. Jack puts it away. 1-0 up. In dreamland. Taunting the Birmingham fans, as you do. You know, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant, you know, to be 1-0 up. And I look back at that game now, and I think possibly the only joy that we got from that game. 2 minutes in, that was it. It was done for us then, because I think I turned to you and I said, I think I said to you, that's a long time to hold on to this.
Well, it was like literally,
it was,
literally the whole game.
Yeah, but it was like they'd just give us a 1-goal head start, and we had to hold on to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was at that point. Did you think we can do this, or did you think they're coming back at us?
For a split second, I thought, because we were all elated and screaming and cheering and whatever, and then you kind of. Everybody settles in, everybody gets back in formation and all that kind of jazz, and you're like, yeah, they're going to batter us now, aren't they? They're not going to take this lying down, and they didn't, obviously.
No, but I was different to that. When we scored, and I thought it's a long time to hold on, but I was like, we're going to do it. I thought we were, because we pressed them nice and early. We got a corner. We put their keeper under pressure from the corner. And we scored, and I thought we're on for something here. I genuinely did. But
what made me laugh was Nick and Jay, when they came on, they said there's going to be goals in this game.
Yeah.
And there was definitely goals.
Yeah.
Just only one of them was scored by Wrexham.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they Birmingham just sort of took control.
They did.
From that point,
they did.
Their passing was very slick. I think we just sat too deep. We just sat back thinking we were going to soak up the pressure that they were putting on us.
Yeah.
We were going to get rid of the ball. They were so fast to close us down at every opportunity for the full 90 minutes. And the problem with that was we couldn't play football. They didn't let us play. They basically, as soon as the ball went, you know, to Barney or to McLean out on the left, or to one of our central defenders, they were just on us straight away, and we couldn't pass it about. I think Dobson tried. He did a couple of nice little skill moves in the middle just to get away from people, but even then they were on him, and we couldn't play our normal football. And the problem with that was, after 10-15 minutes of trying to play football and just getting broken down, we defaulted back to the long ball. The long ball forward, just to give yourself a little bit of respite, get the ball up the pitch.
But they were on it.
But they were going, we'll take this. We'll have this all day long, and then they would come back at us.
I think we gave them a bit too much space as well. We were like giving them space, and they were they were taking full advantage of that space and getting in. And
I'm not sure we gave them the space. That's the problem. I think we were taught a little bit of a lesson in the sense of they created that space. And I'm not going to lie, on 2 separate occasions, I counted how many players they had on the pitch, because it felt like they had more than us. And I am not even lying. The overloads that they created on the left, on the right, in the middle, it was insane. It just felt like they had more players.
Yeah.
They were pinging the ball out to the right, so our left, where James McLean was, quite regularly. And there was a guy that was out there on that right-hand side, And every time they were passing the ball out, I thought it was going to him, and he was just leaving it. And then I was like, oh my God, there's another one of them out there. So they were just, the overloads they created were insane.
They were very professional.
They were...
very tight, very on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just kept inviting them on, I think. That's, and they just took that with both hands, really. 22nd minute, Arthur saved Alfie May's shot. Jay Stansfield... his price goes up every time we talk about him, to be honest. They bought him for 10. Someone said 12. Someone said 15. And someone said even more than
30,
that.
I've heard.
I've heard 30 as well. Yeah, but anyway, by the by.
30 quid.
I think Arthur maybe would have been... I'm not saying he could have done better, but knowing how a goalkeeper thinks, I definitely think Arthur would have been a little bit disappointed with what he did with that shot.
Yeah.
As a goalkeeper, you're always taught, shot comes in, you push it away from the goal. If you can't hold it, you push it away. Mm-hmm. He pushed it right into Jay Stansfield's path, and, he tucked it away, no mistakes. And I think Arthur would have been a little bit disappointed with that. I just wanted to hold on to 1-1 until half-time. That's all I wanted at that point. They've got two midfielders, so they've got, I don't know how to say his name. I don't know if it's Pack or Pike or Pake, or I'm not sure what his name is, but I think his name's Hyung So Pak. I think it's Pak. He was, hands down,
was he number 24?
I don't know what number he was, but he was absolutely out of this world. And how he is playing in League One, I have no idea, if I'm honest. And I'm not just like kissing up to Birmingham in any way. He is, he's out of this world. Absolutely. I picked him out really early. It was just, honestly, it was ridiculous how good he was. And then they had that Tomoki Iwata, is it? Yeah. He came from Celtic. He was another one. He was absolutely fantastic as well. Anyway, I just wanted to get to half-time. And I thought, right, get in. And we got in at 1-1. And I was like, right, reset. Come back out for the second half.
My prediction.
Little bit of a different game plan. And yeah, what's your prediction?
It was my prediction.
You don't get it right for half-time.
No, it'd be good if I could.
And I just thought, keep it tight, second half. Come out, keep it tight, frustrate them a little bit. Let's see what we can get. Because we were never going to take complete control of that game. No. We really weren't. So, frustrate them for a bit. Let's see what we can get on the break. And let's try and create some space of our own. But 6 minutes, I think that lasted. Yeah, 6 minutes. Great crossing, Stansfield header. O'Connell would have been annoyed with that because he peeled off the back of him, and he made it 2-1. 7 minutes after that, Tomoki Iwata made it 3-1. Yeah. What were you thinking? Because I know what I was thinking, but what were you thinking when they made it 3-0 with half an hour to go? What were you thinking at that point?
3-0?
3-1, sorry.
I thought, I think this is over. I didn't want to think that because obviously you always want to believe, but then you think, like Ryan bangs on about last minute goals and stuff like that, and you think, oh, maybe, but then you think, yeah, it is. I was just hoping that they didn't get more than 3 goals because then they would have gone up to first place in the table. So I was kind of like hoping, right, just don't let them score any more goals. Let's keep it at this. If we can get goals, fantastic. But yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I think I turned to you when they scored the third with a really dejected sort of demeanour. I think you sat down at one point. You never sit down and away games. And I just turned to you and I think I said this could be 5 or 6. This could. You did. You did. Because that's how it felt. It just felt like they were just picking us apart at will. And I'm not sure how it stayed 3-1. The last sort of 5-10 minutes, obviously they had a man sent off. That's the only time we really seem to come into it. And it's the only time we really seem to get the ball in the final third. It's, them having one man less maybe felt like, a bit of a leveller, a little bit. But they were bang up for it all game. They were. Look, Mullen came on for some valuable minutes and we had a little bit of a bite gate, or shall we call it nearly bite gate.
So
mad. I mean, obviously, because we were there, we obviously didn't see what was going on.
No.
But we saw the pictures afterwards, and he didn't bite him. He may have looked like he was gesturing, but he didn't.
No.
And weirdly, 2 women, I don't want to give them too much airtime, but I say women, they're girls, little girls, did a tweet, basically calling, they were Arsenal fans, I think, so...
I know who you're talking about. They're the most annoying women in the world.
Basically, I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically calling out Paul Mullin, saying, we didn't know who you were before we saw this, blah, blah, blah. You know, you shouldn't bite other people, and they wanted an apology from him. They wanted an apology from Paul Mullin. He was like, who are you? You're 2 girls who probably don't even support Arsenal. You're just wearing a shirt. You probably got your OnlyFans isn't doing very well. So honestly, it was ridiculous. And Paul, you don't need to apologise to anybody. Nothing happened.
Look, he didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything.
He was very close to doing something, though, I think. And, you know, I think if you ever talk about biting in football, you have to talk about Luis Suarez a little bit. I think he did it 3 times. So I think he got banned for 7 games when he was at Ajax for biting someone on the shoulder. And then he got banned for 10 games when he was playing for Liverpool for biting Branislav Ivanovic on the arm.
Oh, you're going to say something else.
No. He got banned for 10 games for that. And then he bit Chiellini, the Italy player. He bit him on the shoulder in one of the World Cups. And I think he got banned for 4 months for that. So look, it could have been... if he'd... I'm just so glad he pulled out of it. Because I think... But do you think this has come from a little bit of frustration of not playing?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I think when he does come on the pitch, I don't think he's still good, but I don't think he's performing like Paul Mullin performs. And I think it's getting really, really frustrating for him. And I think, it got to that point. And I think it's going to take him another 4 or 5 games, though. Till he's back up to full match fitness and sort of perform in the way that we know that he can. Yeah.
Unfortunately for Jack, that means, we'll come on to the Crawley game in a minute. It does mean that he's going to have to bow out a little bit so we can get Paul up to speed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem really unfair, really. But look, back to the Birmingham game. Let's just say end of the game, finish. We're not going to talk about the game anymore. But we were still top of the league. Birmingham was second on goal difference. And then it took us an hour and a half to get out of Birmingham.
Oh, it was disgusting.
It was hell.
It was
horrid. Then another hour and a half to get home. After that, I think we got into bed at about 1 a.m, and then I was up at 4 a.m. to go back to work again. Yeah. So, look, was it worth it?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was a good away day.
It was a good away day.
It would have been much better on a Saturday.
Which is what we wanted originally.
Yeah,
which what it was on originally, but
I wouldn't have changed anything about it. I was very tired on the Tuesday, but I definitely wouldn't have.
You powered through, didn't you, love?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
you soldiered on.
Yeah, we did our full-time YouTube live. We had lots and lots of Birmingham fans on there, so fair play to them. For coming on. We had PhD Lee. Birmingham fan here, but I'm subscribing because I love honest football content. Very refreshing. I wish you all at Wrexham well for the rest of the season, and hopefully we both see each other again at St Andrews in the Championship.
Love that.
Peter Falk, I was sat above the Wrexham fans. They were great all game, great podcast. Good luck with the rest of the season. Look forward to the away leg. Should be absolutely brilliant.
Steve Courtney, honest podcast. You've come a long way. Keep right on, Wrexham. By way, and by the way, I think that's meant to say. Great podcast, guys.
Blue Nose Ant, look on the bright side, at least you don't have to play us every week.
Bloody hell, I'd have a heart attack if we had to play you every week.
Thank you very much for that one.
Mike's 9425, on paper, that's the hardest game of the season, and as bad as they looked, it was never going to be a 5-goal margin. Lessons to learn for sure, but really nothing to moan about.
No. Jason Humphreys, hi, I'm a Blues fan. Thought your fans were incredible tonight. I think once we equalised, you sort of sat back and invited us to come at you. I honestly believe we could have scored another 2 or 3. What do you think?
Yes.
I agree, Jason, unfortunately.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do. But yeah, should we move on? Move on. It was a little bit deflating Monday. I think all the excitement around the game, it felt really good to be going somewhere like that. Everyone was excited, nervous energy. It made it a great day. And then we just got the stuffing knocked out of us a little bit.
And having to travel home, it's just
we just got beaten down by, as hard as it is to say, a better team.
Yeah.
On the night. Let's just say a better team on the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Some will argue and say they are the better team, full stop.
And that is quite possibly true.
Yes.
But
in my opinion.
But let's just say on the night for now.
So let's move on to the Crawley game. So on Saturday we were at the Stoke Kairas back at home, and we played Crawley Town. It was every year. Wrexham always commemorate the Gresford mining disaster, which happened 90 years ago. This obviously comes out on Monday, but we're recording on Sunday, and it's actually 22 years on the Sunday that it happened.
90 years.
22nd, sorry. So it was 90 years ago, and we have mentioned this before, but Ryan's great uncle was actually one of the 266 who sadly died in the disaster. So they had a commemorative shirt on which had a logo which was actually designed by Liam
Stokes-Massey.
I can never which way that goes. Yeah, so Liam Stokes-Massey, it was so simple.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It was so good. So that was on the front of the shirt. They had a brass band playing. Not sure what they were playing, but they were playing something quite poignant. And then the guys came out. And to be fair, the Crawley fans and the Crawley players all observed.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Observed the minute silence, which was lovely. So that was obviously the start of the game. And then as we were walking up, we did our live, didn't we? Our pre-game live, and we had the game the team. And Molyneux was obviously back in the starting 11.
Yeah, which we knew was going to happen. I don't think anyone could be surprised.
I wasn't, because I put him in my lineup.
Yeah, so did I. I don't think anyone could have been surprised. I think the one thing that maybe slightly surprised me, maybe not Sian so much because she had him in, but we saw Andy Cannon back in. Ollie Rathbone out. I thought Ollie might keep his place for a little bit longer. Not the case, but they were the only 2 changes from Monday night.
Yeah.
So Andy came back in. Love Andy. I'm not saying I didn't want Andy back in, but it was a little bit of a shock. I thought we might see Ollie getting a bit of a run inside. But yeah, Paul back, and like we sort of talked about before this, we knew it was happening.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming, and he needs minutes on the pitch. And it was always going to be the case. I thought this was going to be the game that he was going to start. We just looked very lethargic.
Yeah, it wasn't the usual. Obviously we've won every single game at the Racecourse this season so far, and Saturday was no different. Obviously we won that game, but it was a fight, I think, because Crawley were not there just to be walked all over. They did work hard.
I thought they were the better team.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say anything else. I thought Crawley were the better team on Saturday. We were very lethargic. We had little bursts of something, but nothing sort of like. We definitely didn't play on Saturday the way that we have played in other home games. Now it's very hard to compare apples with apples when you don't know the 2 apples are the same apples, or whether there's an orange inside the apple. What I'm trying to say is we're comparing.
Don't try to figure that one out.
We're comparing this game with that game, but how do you know that? We're trying to compare a game against Shrewsbury or Reading, who are in dire straits, with a game against Crawley, who obviously are, they're playing quite well at the moment, and they are picking up points. So we're comparing 2 games against teams that, you wouldn't necessarily say are in the same bracket.
No.
Crawley are, in my opinion, a better team than Shrewsbury. Everyone is really, but or I would say Crawley have the potential to be a better team than Reading are. So it's quite hard to go, well, we beat them 3-0, but we've really struggled against these. But is that because of what happened on Monday that really dented the confidence of the lads? Or are Crawley just a better team? It's quite hard to pinpoint what caused Saturday. I do think we were lethargic, though, and just because a team's good doesn't make you lethargic. It can make you seem a little bit out of sorts, but not in the way that I think that we set up on Saturday and the way that we were in the early part of the game. I don't know. I think it's quite hard. It's a hard comparison. I thought Crawley were better early on. They had a shot from the edge of the box, which went just past the post. It was never troubling Arthur, but they set this stall out. I think Owen O'Connell went for a header and it bounced, and he just misjudged it. I think what happened, that the striker ran for it, knowing it was going to bounce in front of him and knowing it was going to bounce over his head. He ran further than he needed to, and then he just dug his heel in, turned and ran. Because what he was trying to do was trick Owen into following him, knowing that it was going to bounce over his head as well, which it did, and it worked. And he got a shot away. 24th minute, pretty much the exact corner routine that resulted in our goal against Birmingham. So Tommy put the corner in right on top of the keeper at the back post. Keeper had to sort of do something with it. Sort of fell a bit differently than it did on Monday, but you can't really control that. Max hooked it back in. Elliot Lee, goal, 1-0 up. Everyone sort of relaxed a little bit and felt a little bit better. I think you turned to me after that goal and you said, I think he needed that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, obviously there's been a bit of talk about Elliot Lee, like when he was at Birmingham. He didn't really get going, but you could say that about a few of the players. And, he said really this season he hasn't really been the Elliot Lee that we've kind of known and loved. And I think the game on Saturday when he scored, I do think that he really, really needed that. At that point, I think after Birmingham, I think he needed that to kind of get him back.
I think it'd be a bit unfair to say he's not been as good this season.
I've not said that.
Never said you did. Never said, calm down. You don't need to get up or anything and have a go at me.
Batter you.
Yeah. But no, I think that might be a little bit unfair. I thought he's been very good this season. He's one of our top scorers. But I just thought he had an off day on Monday against Birmingham. And I think probably Birmingham just shut him down, and he likes being on the ball and he likes picking passes. Birmingham didn't let any of the players do that on Monday. So, he was no different. So he couldn't really get anything going because that's his game.
Yeah.
I think it may be a little bit unfair to judge him on that one. But yeah, happy that he got his goal.
Yeah.
Arthur made a decent save not long after that, a shot across him. And then just before half time, obviously ball through, one of their strikers took it round Arthur. Open goal, and he's just blazed it over, which...
Oh, it was terrible. It was like...
It's such a bad miss. I think...
I mean, we're glad we missed it.
Yeah. I mean, McLean was coming across to cover on the line. I think the sensible thing to do in that instance was to take another touch just to settle it and then put it in.
Yeah.
But because McLean had made that run across...
He didn't think he'd have time.
No, he sort of went, oh, I'm not going to have time to do that. I'm going to have to hit it straight away. And he put it over the bar.
Yep.
Could have very easily been 1-0 at half-time. Wasn't. Happy. Thankfully.
Yeah.
But I definitely thought Crawley were the better team. I don't really see... I don't really see how we were doing anything better than they were. They had more of the ball. They completed more passes. They had more shots. They had more shots on target. They created more big chances. Everything really was them. So we came out in the second half. And I think we were strong for the first 5. I think we looked better than we had most of the first half.
Yeah.
But then they equalised after 54 minutes. So again, it's not staying switched on, for the 10, 15 minutes after half time. The guy who scored was the guy who'd missed the open goal, so he made up for his miss in the first half. We had a bit of a controversy, didn't we? Because the linesman's flag went up and then went back down again. And then it was
bottled it, apparently.
Well, I don't know what happened, because it was very bizarre and there was loads of confusion after. And if you watch the replays and all that sort of stuff, you don't really get to see exactly what was going on or any of that. But it was strange. The linesman went to put his flag up, got it halfway up and then put it back down again. So it was a bit of a strange one. But put that to one side. It was 1-1.
It was a goal.
And I thought it was going to be quite difficult for us to get back into the game. I thought it was going to be one of them days where we were going to struggle. But Dobson, amazing cross. Max, another goal. 3 for the season now. So he's joint second top scorer with Elliot Lee. And this is a guy who's barely scored before.
He's on fire. He's so...
Yeah.
Somebody... when I put the Man of the Match post on, obviously Ryan Barnett won Man of the Match.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just going to say it because I'll forget. He basically used the hashtag Maxif instead of massive.
Oh, right.
Maxive.
I
love it. Maxive.
Yeah. Look, and we weren't quite sure if Stephen Fletcher had nicked it on the line. But he didn't. They've given it to Max anyway. It was just one of them days, really. I think I'd used the term on quite a few occasions. We've just got to win this one ugly, because it's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Let's just get the 3 points. Yeah. Let's all go home and let's move on. I felt quite sorry for Crawley on Saturday because
they worked hard.
I thought they were better at passing. I thought they're better at creating chances. But I suppose that's just football for you, isn't it? You don't always get what you deserve.
That saying is just being bandied about so much. That's football.
It is, though.
That's football, guys.
But it's if I was in their position, I would find that really difficult to take.
What would you say to them?
It's just football.
It's just football.
It's just football. You just have to win,
Get over it.
So we stayed top on goal difference. Birmingham also won 2-0 away at Rotherham. Charlton, Huddersfield and Stockport all lost. So now there's a 3-point gap between us and Birmingham, down to Barnsley in third. So that's nice. Keep building, keep pushing on. The man of the match I said we were going to come on to, that was given to Ryan Barnett, which I was quite surprised about, if I'm honest. But I wasn't the only one.
It's the same people.
I know.
Who chose James McLean for the Reading game, and
which was a bit odd in itself because so JPH commented and said, not sure who picks these, but Max surely deserves it. Great assist on the first goal and the game-winning header. Few of these sponsored man of the matches have been head scratchers so far this season. Completely agree. I thought Max was man of the match. I thought Max deserved man of the match. He looked amazing.
Sublime.
Yeah, he was.
He has been all season.
Yeah.
He has been. He's such
definitely
a good little player. And I said to somebody had commented on something, I can't even remember what it was now. Because we get so many comments and we love them all, by the way. They said to us, but I was the one who was reading it. I said, I'm so tired. Basically, that he is gonna get snatched up one of these days. Maybe not in the next year or the year after, but he is going to get snatched up because he is just on this absolute amazing journey.
But what people have got to remember is, if in the next couple of years we go up and we're in the Championship and we're pushing and pushing and pushing, why does he need to leave? He doesn't need to leave. this is his club.
All right.
This is a club that everyone loves him. He will be captain one day.
Okay.
Okay, so why does he need to leave?
He doesn't need to leave, but what I'm saying is that maybe not getting snapped up, maybe that's the wrong word. I mean, there's going to be a lot of interest in him.
Yeah.
And a lot of offers.
I think I saw Craig on Twitter saying he's got to be worth £3 million. And I don't know.
That's why Parky's trying to keep hold of him, isn't
I
it?
don't know, but I don't like talking about players as what they're worth.
Commodities.
Yes, but you're probably right.
They are, though. That's the problem, isn't it? It's football.
He's just going to get more and more expensive.
Yeah, he is. And he's brilliant. I love Max. Yeah. So thank you very much for your questions and comments. No, we're going to go through your questions and comments.
I've just got one more. Sorry, I threw it in last minute because it was a little bit of a late one. So we got an email off Roy. Roy actually said that he was watching. I think Roy's from Canada. Sorry if you're not right. No, I'm not sure.
He was watching on Paramount Plus.
He was watching on Paramount Plus. He said, I think I can hear a pin drop on the Paramount Plus broadcast of today's match. And the commentators have mentioned multiple times how quiet the crowd is. Any idea why? Did Birmingham get the fans that down? I don't think so, right?
No.
I think what it was, we've had such a good start to the season, Roy. And then we get slapped in the face a little bit by Birmingham. They gave us our first defeat of the season. So Saturday almost feels like a must-win. You've got to win straight after that defeat to bounce back a little bit and bring the confidence back into the group. The fans know that and the fans feel that. And I think that creates a nervous sort of energy within the crowd. And when something like that happens and there's nerves, you have to bear in mind we're a club who have in many seasons watched our teams lose again and again and again, and and it all starts from one loss. And I think sometimes you sort of think back and go, oh my god, but I think you just need to get out of that slump as quick as possible. And I think fans are just a bit nervous about that happening, and when nerves kick in with the crowd, it tends to go a little bit quiet in there. And I think that's what we saw on Saturday. But look, we've won ugly, and we can move on and we can just get on with it. I think maybe that's all it was, Roy, if I'm perfectly honest, but I don't know.
Dave, so we're going to go through your questions and comments now.
There's only one, because there was so many from the week, from like Birmingham fans and some about the game and some about this. There was just one that didn't really fit into any category, so I've just put it in because I think it's very valuable to read out, and I will let you read it out.
Thank you. So it was David Williams 7220. I commented on your first episode and take the negative comments back. I can't even remember what it was, David, so I'm going to have to go back and have a look. It has been fun watching Sian's journey from knowing nothing to a valued opinion on all things Wrexham.
That's very nice, though, isn't it?
It is a very nice comment.
It is, and I think fair play, David, because in this world that we live in, people are quite reluctant to stand up and go, do you know what?
I was wrong.
And I'm still here now, 116 episodes later. I'm still watching, and I actually have enjoyed Sian's journey and where she's gone. To be fair, though,
to you, David, when you made that comment, it was probably true. I don't know what the comment was, so I'm not going to
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't even know what the comment was.
He could have been saying I was this ugly, whatever, and,
No, it wasn't. I think it was just, it was generally about the podcast and stuff, but, I think fair play to you for actually commenting.
Thank you very much, David. So if you do want to get in touch, you can get in touch on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or you can email us at methewifeandwrexhamafc@gmail.com.
So you don't need to... See, I covered that then purposely.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yes.
How rude.
How rude. Just a quick one about our Fantasy EFL. There was... I just want to read a comment out for... He's been mentioned twice in this episode now. Christian McHale. We saw him
Friend of the show.
We saw him on Monday.
We did.
At Birmingham. We had a little
chat with him.
I don't know if
he was a bit drunk. He seemed a bit, not drunk, but like merry.
Was he?
Or maybe that's just you, Christian. Maybe you're just a merry person.
Maybe. He actually commented, said, "You've had a good week, Ryan, but I'll be pressing you next week. No chance you're having 3 mammoth weeks like you have done." So, with that in mind...
I would just like to say I've got your back, Christian. Please beat him.
Just with that in mind, just to let you know about the standings, Christian's dropped out of the top 3. I am still at number 1, so I'm not sure...
Come on, Christian, what are you doing?
S. Jones, second place, and Gareth Jackson is in 3rd. That is correct at time of recording.
Let us know who S. Jones is, because we haven't got your first name.
You might have put a comment in of who you are, but
it's got lost.
It might have got lost somewhere. So
I'm going to call you Sebastian Jones.
I'm going to say Steve.
I know, yeah, it's probably a Steve in it, or Simon.
Yeah. Maybe. Look, we'll quickly go through Leyton Orient. So they are our next opponent. So it's our 8th league game of the season. It's away at Brisbane Road, the Gowan Group Stadium.
Is that how you say it? I wasn't quite sure.
Gowan,
I thought it was Goff or...
Yeah. Capacity of 9,271. The away allocation is about 1,250. It's on Saturday, the 28th of September. They won 4-1. They've had a really bad start to the season. Stockport, obviously, don't like to admit it, but have had a very good start to the season. Leyton Orient won 4-1 away at Stockport on Saturday, which it baffled me. I couldn't believe that when I saw that result. But yeah, anyway.
Well done.
So they're just picking up results, just before they play us. So brilliant. Thanks for that
maybe
one.
not well done.
Yeah.
Actually.
They've played 6, won 2 and lost 4 this season. And they're 20th in League One on 6 points.
They were founded in 1881 and they play in red. So I'm assuming we'll either be in gold or black. Their nickname is the O's. For obvious reasons. They're 208 miles away from us, which is about 4.5 hours, like a East London-y way.
Yes, it is East London, yeah.
It is East London.
It is East London, yeah.
They finished 11th in League One last season. They promoted from League Two as champions in the 22-23 season, and Ollie Palmer played for them in the 2015-17 season, and he played 2
seasons, 2015 through to 2017. Yeah, he played for 2 seasons.
Of course.
65 games in total. But
How many goals?
I don't know actually. But anyway, who hasn't Ollie played for? I suppose really he's played for
every
everyone.
time we mention him in another team, goes who hasn't he played for?
Yeah. So our last game against them was a 1-0 defeat in March 2019 in the National League. They won the league that season. We finished 4th, and it was the year that we lost to Eastleigh in the playoffs. Top scorer last season was Rule Sotiriou. He plays for Bristol Rovers now. So I was going to say we don't have to worry about him.
But we do.
We do at some point, but just not next Saturday.
Yeah.
Predictions.
I'm just trying to get that. We've got that many spreadsheets.
I know.
Okay, so Leyton Orient. I'm going to go... Oh, see, this is a tough one because they beat... It's at the home ground. I'm going to go 2-1.
Wrexham.
Yeah.
I was going to go 2-0. And then just as I was about to say it out loud, I sort of had a bit of a wobble. And I didn't know if I wanted to go 1-0. I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0?
2-0 Wrexham, yeah, please.
It is down in stone.
Brilliant. Oh, just to touch on the predictions, neither of us got them right on Saturday. I went for 3-0, Sean went for 4-1. So who was the closest? Well, it doesn't really matter because neither of us got it right.
No,
So.
literally, we are both... have got out of the games that we've had so far, including the Salford game for the Bristol Street Motors, which obviously Ryan won. It's literally
1-1.
Neck and neck.
Yeah. A quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So it's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. And the other one is on a Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. Details of how to get on the call are down in the description on this video. If you're watching on YouTube, everything that you need is on there. If you're struggling, get in touch with us, send us an email, whatever it might be. Send us a message on social media. We'll help you get on that. Or you can follow Steve Lloyd on Twitter, which is at DragonChat WXMFC. Cool. Happy days. Quiz time, yeah?
I'm not in the right frame of mind for a quiz today.
Are you not? You're very tired, aren't you?
I'm very tired.
Yeah. We're coming to the end of our refurbishments.
We are.
We've got, but literally ahead of us over the next 3 days are the most.
I'll be in work, so it's not going to affect me.
Everything's happening.
Ryan's got to sort it out and then do an 8-hour shift of work in the afternoon.
Yeah, so we've got new carpets coming, new sofa coming. We've got a guy coming who's going to fit new doors, internal doors for us.
That's it.
Is that it? Is it?
Well, Ryan's got to put up pictures.
Yeah, that's little stuff. I'm not fussed about that. That's fine.
Because he doesn't trust me to do it.
Absolutely not. Okay, you ready?
Quiz time.
It is quiz time. Right, where am I? Yeah, is everything working? Yeah, good.
We're all here.
Right, my head's gone now, and I'm thinking about this week.
We're all present and correct.
Right, question 1. Ollie Palmer, just been mentioned.
Yes.
But can you name 3 of his former clubs? Just name 3 clubs he's probably played for them.
AFC Wimbledon.
Correct.
I want to say Tranmere.
No.
Leyton Orient.
Correct. Yes.
I can't think of Cheltenham.
No. I'll read them out for you. Woking, Boreham Wood, Mansfield, Grimsby, Luton, Lincoln, Crawley, AFC Wimbledon, and then obviously...
Do you know, I was going to say Crawley, but then I thought,
no,
because you never mentioned it. Anyway, go on.
Okay, question 2. Jay Stansfield scored 2 goals against us at St Andrews last Monday, but what number was he wearing? Was it 8, 18, 28 or 38?
8.
It wasn't 8, it was 28. Yeah, unlucky. Number 3. Can you name, but it's not all Birmingham, by the way, it's just a couple of Birmingham.
I mean, we had a Birmingham quiz last week, so, you know.
Can you name Birmingham's Icelandic midfielder who played against us last Monday night? Was it? There is 4 options.
Oh, okay, cool.
Willem Willemsen, Torgen Torgensen, Gudmund Gudmundsson, or Emil Hansen?
Emil Hansen.
Incorrect. Emil Hansen is a Birmingham player, but he's Swedish. Their Icelandic midfielder is Willem Willemsen. It's actually Willem Thor Willemsen. His middle name's Thor.
Oh, can you imagine having a middle name Thor?
I know. Cool that now.
Yeah.
Right, so you're on...
Sean Thor, what?
Oh, you're on 0. Okay, number 4. George Dobson was booked on Saturday against Crawley, but how many yellow cards does he have this season? I put options down, but you know how numbers work, you know, so guess.
3.
Correct. Yes, 3. And final question. Did you spot the bird on Saturday?
Did I spot the bird?
Yes.
What, the one flying above us?
Did you spot the bird?
I spotted a bird, yeah.
Okay. Which bird did Crawley have in their starting lineup? Was it peacock, finch, sparrow, or swan?
Swan.
It was swan. Well done. Congratulations.
I just remember hearing his name.
Yeah. Do you know the shot that I said that they had just before half time, or in the first half? That was him. But I wrote his name down and I purposely took it out because I didn't want to mention it. 2 out of 5.
Not bad.
Not horrendous. I definitely think you should have got the Ollie Palmer one right.
I know.
So it should have been 3 out of 5.
I know.
I wouldn't say it was disgusting. It's just poor. Really, to be honest.
I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Just thought he was poor, you know, really, to be honest. Look, I just want to say a happy, I have already, but happy birthday to my mum, who turned
49.
As if I'm going to say her age.
She would kill him.
She would kill me. I mean, you know.
She would definitely write him out of the will.
Yeah, she definitely would. But, you know, I'm 42, so biologically, she's obviously older than me. But let's just leave her at that, I'd say.
She's 43.
Yeah. So, yeah.
She's looking good for her age. Whatever age she is, she's looking good. So It's all good in the hood.
It is. Look, thank you very much for joining us.
I would like to quickly also say.
Okay. Sorry.
When this comes out, it'll actually be on the 23rd. It's actually Ryan Barnett's birthday. So happy birthday, Ryan.
Okay. I'm glad we've done that. Thanks. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us again this week. Join us next Monday at 6 p.m. for episode 117. Do you notice how slow I said that then?
So difficult,
because I'm trying to remember the number.
117.
Yeah, 117.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Have a good week.
Bye.